What's up guys, it's Chris Majestic, and aside from home theater, you guys know I love smart home tech, and I've done a few videos on robot vacuums. So as you probably know, the whole point of having a robot to clean the floors in your house is to make your life easier. So the robot that I have with me today is the DEEBOT X1 Turbo from ECOVACS. So this is a vacuum and mopping combo that's not only filled with an insane amount of technology, but it also has a pretty sophisticated way of addressing my main issue with robot mops. So ECOVACS was nice enough to sponsor today's video and send this out for us to check out today. Okay, so what sets the X1 Turbo apart from everything else? Well, aside from being great at cleaning the floors, it has a few other tricks up its sleeve. Not only does it vacuum and mop your floor simultaneously, but it can go several weeks with little to no human interaction. It also has some of the most impressive navigation and smart features that I've seen from a robot vacuum. So if you've been keeping up with robot vacuums over the past few years, you've probably seen auto emptying bins for vacuuming. But until recently, there were no automated systems for the mopping process. So even though robot mops were great for cleaning your floors, the major issue was that you had to constantly clean or replace the mopping pads after every job, not to mention you have to fill the water tank on the mop every day. Well, the DEEBOT X1 Turbo comes to the rescue with a mop cleaning station that washes and dries the mopping pads before and after every cleaning job. This not only ensures that your mopping pads don't become a breeding ground for mold and bacteria, but it also ensures that you're not dragging a dirty mop pad across your floor every day. And the base station even automatically refills the robot with clean water, so your floors are always being cleaned with fresh water without having to remember to fill up the water tank every day. So the X1 comes in 3 variants, with the main difference between them being the base station. First, there's the X1 Plus, which comes with the base station with an auto emptying system for the dustbin. There's the X1 Turbo, which is what we have with us today, that doesn't include the auto emptying system for the dustbin, but does have a mop cleaning system that automatically washes the mopping pads. And then there's the X1 Omni, which is the top of the line unit that auto empties the dustbin and washes the mopping pads. Now, before I get into how the X1 Turbo performed on the main level of my house, I want to talk just a little bit about the design. So my first impressions when I took the base station out of the box was that it was way bigger than I expected. Now, at first I thought this was going to be a problem, but after I got it all set up, I found that I actually prefer the larger base, since the vacuum sits deeper inside of it, which I think looks better in my opinion. The base station has 3 backlit touch sensitive buttons on top, and lifting the lid reveals the 2 water tanks. One tank is for clean water and the other one is for dirty water. So it uses the clean water tank to wash the mopping pads, as well as refill the water tank on the robot whenever it's low. And all of the dirty water from cleaning the pads gets sucked up into the dirty water tank. So all you have to do is dump the dirty water tank when it's full. And when it comes to the X1 robot itself, it follows the same minimalist design styling. The color matches the base station, and the overall design is very similar to most robot vacuums on the market. It only has 1 button on top, with the raised portion containing the LiDAR system, which is the best option for robot navigation in my opinion. And lifting the top lid on the robot reveals the setup button, as well as the removable dustbin, which I'll talk about a little bit later. The bottom of the X1 contains 2 spinning brushes, the vacuum roller, and 2 large mopping pads that can easily be removed if you want the robot to be used on carpet. And the setup for the X1 was really easy. All I had to do was install the brushes and the mop pads on the bottom of the robot, sit it on the base station, and plug the base station in. And I was able to use the built-in voice assistant to start the quick mapping process, which took less than 10 minutes to map the entire first floor of my home. Using their Auto Mapping 2.0 software mixed with LiDAR, cameras, and the other sensors, it didn't have to cover every square inch of my floors to get an accurate map. It even supports 3D maps, so you can add furniture in your room and get an even more accurate representation of your home, and even clean around certain pieces of furniture. So as far as mapping and navigation, this is definitely one of the most sophisticated mapping systems I've ever seen. So the main level of my house consists of about 80% hard floors, with the other 20% being a few rugs. And after testing the X1 out for the past week or so, I found that it not only did a fantastic job vacuuming and mopping my floors, but it's also kind of spoiled me with its other features. The mopping pads are definitely the star of the show when it comes to the X1 X1's cleaning capabilities. It uses their Osmo Turbo 2 rotating mopping system, which rotates the pads up to 180 times per minute. This does a fantastic job of scrubbing the floor compared to other robot mops. So to put this into perspective, I've been using 2 other robot mops on my floor multiple times a week for the past few months, and you can see how dirty the water is in the dirty water tank cleaning up behind those other robots. Now, one thing to note is that it doesn't actually clean carpets with the mopping pads attached since they're so large. So if you want to clean your carpets or rugs, you will have to remove the mopping pads first. Alright, so what about all those other features I mentioned earlier? Well, the X1 uses what ECOVACS calls their AI-VI 3D audio avoidance system, which uses the camera and other sensors to identify and avoid certain obstacles. This includes things like pet waste, shoes, wires, and all sorts of common household items. So unlike my other robots that require me to double check that the floor is clear every night, I can run the X1 without having to worry about it getting stuck on something. Another cool feature is that it has a voice assistant built in, which is called Eco. So all you have to do is call out to Eco for the vacuum to do what you want. And one feature that I thought was pretty cool is that you can actually call out to Eco to come and clean where you are. So it uses the sound of your voice to determine where you want it to clean instead of telling it to clean a specific room, which is pretty cool. And one of my favorite features of the X1 is the built-in camera. So you can tap into the camera at any time, whether the robot is running or sitting on the docking station. This is great if you just want to see what the robot sees, or if you're not home and you wanted to patrol your house to keep an eye on things. And ECOVACS even took it a step further and allow you to use the built-in speaker and microphone to hold a conversation using the robot to talk to someone on the other end.
Sir, would you mind telling me what you're doing in my house?
Okay, so I think it's pretty obvious that I like the X1, but like I always say, nothing is perfect. Overall, I think it does a fantastic job cleaning, and it has more features than anyone could ever ask for, but the only thing I can say I don't like is that you have to remove the mopping pads if you wanted to clean carpet. Now, I do understand that the size of the mopping pads will make it difficult, if not impossible, for it to clean carpet without getting it wet, but I would like to see it do both, since the whole point of the robot is less human intervention. But considering how much better it is at mopping the floors compared to other vacuums, this is something I can live with. Alright, so clearly it performs well, but what about the main thing that everyone cares about, which is pricing? So I'll tell you right up front, it's definitely not cheap. So as I mentioned earlier, the X1 has 3 variants. There's the X1 Plus, the X1 Turbo, which we have with us today, and the X1 Omni. So the X1 Plus retails for $1149, their Turbo retails for $1349, and the Omni retails for $1549. So again, this is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but this is a high-end robot. Considering it requires even less human intervention than most options, and the fact that it has bleeding-edge technology, the price definitely comes as no surprise. But make sure you check the links in the video description to make sure you're getting the best price, and take advantage of any offers or promotions ECOVACS might be running. But that is going to do it for this video, guys, and I do hope you found it helpful. If you did, as always, go ahead and make sure you mash that like button for me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever I post new videos. And I know you guys are waiting for certain videos like the Epson LS12000. I have the Bowmaker Polaris, which is a projector a lot of people ask me about. I have the Hisense PX1 Pro coming up. So I have a bunch of new videos coming up, so do bear with me and make sure that you're subscribed so you get notified when those reviews pop up. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.